All right, all right. That's a tough act to follow. That was amazing. All right. I want to share some personal reflections with you, if I might. Life is short. And the most important thing we do every day is to decide how to spend our time. And for the past 20 years, I spent my time as part of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Peninsula. And joining this movement was the best decision that I've ever made, other, of course, than getting married and having my 3 kids. We've had a great run at BGCP, growing the organization from 4 sites to 17, 40 staff to about 300, our budget from about $2 million to $25 million, and of course, most importantly, kids that we actively serve from about 400 to close to 3,000. Now, I'm sure all of us here think about life and the positive impact that we want our lives to have on others. And that's why we've chosen to be part of this incredible Boys and Girls Clubs movement. Now, I've thought particularly deeply about it for the past 7 years, since I was first diagnosed with advanced melanoma. Now, thanks to some new immunotherapy treatments, I've been able to fight off a few remissions of the melanoma. But 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with rectal cancer, and this time the prognosis isn't so good. The cancer has spread throughout my lungs, there's no known cure, and I don't have much time. But I'm not here today to complain about that. No. I'm here today to celebrate how meaningful being part of this amazing movement has been for me, and hopefully you as well, and to remind us all that the most important thing we do every day is to decide how we spend our time. And I believe there's absolutely no better way to spend our time, however much each of us may have, than being part of this mission of creating hope and opportunity for the kids who need us most. Throughout all of my treatments, I've continued to be engaged as much as possible at BGCP, but not because I'm trying to be a hero or because the clubs need me, but because I find so much fulfillment from achieving our mission. As all of you can relate, providing hope and opportunity to our students and families, it's not work, it's not a job, it's a calling. It's a life. It's a lifestyle. And I can't think of anything that could give me more energy and positivity during those difficult, crappy moments of chemotherapy than being part of this movement. And one of the things I've grown to appreciate is that we aren't just an organization or a collection of clubs. We're a community. We're a community of people united by shared values and beliefs around a common vision that all youth should grow up and live fulfilling lives, fueled by their passions, their talents, and a love of learning. And I'd like to highlight what I believe are 5 of the shared beliefs that define our movement. First, we believe all youth have talents, and it's our job to identify and nurture those talents so that they can blossom. That all kids deserve to have optimism about their future. Second, while donors and club kids usually live in different neighborhoods, they're still part of a single community. Across America, neighborhoods have become increasingly segregated based on income and race. Where I live, in Silicon Valley, there's an 8-lane highway that goes right down, dividing cities in half, with extreme differences in wealth, education, and opportunity. Yet, the kids and the families on both sides of the highway are interconnected and interdependent. And we accept the responsibility to ensure that all of them have the opportunity to lead fulfilling lives. One of our founding donors summarized this so beautifully. He said, "These are all our kids living in our town on our watch. Third, we share the belief that none of us succeed alone. Those of us who have enjoyed success recognize that we've benefited from the hard work and sacrifice of others. We've been able to leverage the investments and systems created by generations before us. Much of life is out of control. It's a matter of chance. And we feel a sense of humility, responsibility, and even privilege to share what we've been so fortunate to receive. Fourth, we believe that our warm hearts are most effective when accompanied by our hard heads. We need to make tough decisions on how to allocate limited resources. We need to bring a business perspective to what we do, analyze critically what we do, and never be satisfied with just doing good. We mustn't confuse effort with accomplishment. We must always ask ourselves, how can we do better? And finally, we believe our work is about sharing, not giving or taking. Everyone involved is helping each other in some way. None of us are saviors who want to come in and help others be like us. We're about working together to achieve a shared vision. Everyone supports each other, and we all benefit. At different times in our lives, we all have different assets and needs. A compassionate community allows us to give and receive at different times. And we're not like Robin Hood. We're not about stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. And we're not talking about wealth or income transfers. We're talking about sharing opportunities. And we're all richer for the experience. I'm actually a perfect example of this. You know, the generally accepted narrative of my career back home is that 20 years ago, I was in the middle of a successful career with opportunities to do anything and make a bunch of money. But instead of continuing on that path, I supposedly made the sacrifice to help others and join this movement. And while I appreciate that sentiment, behind the story, it's absolutely not true. It's not correct. Now, it is true that 40 years ago, I was in the middle of a career that my business school classmates would define as successful. But I wasn't fulfilled. I was longing for a richer purpose and a sense of belonging. I wanted to be part of something bigger than just making money. I wanted a career built not on transactions, but in relationships. I wanted not just an enriching career, but a fulfilling life. And I found fulfillment not in having more toys than others, but in sharing the ones I had. When I attended my first national conference in 2002 in Atlanta, I found something here I could believe in. I hoped I could contribute some skills while also receiving the purpose and belonging I was so much looking for. And it worked. I feel so fulfilled being part of such a loving and compassionate community that we have. I've received more from being part of this movement than I ever could possibly have imagined. It's provided me with purpose, hope, strength, faith, and love. I've also come to realize that our clubs are not corporations. And as leaders, we're so much more than executive directors or CEOs. We're not just managing organizations, we're building compassionate communities. And we should think of ourselves as chief community builders. My wife is a master gardener. And while watching her tend her masterpieces, one of her masterpieces, I realized that our club is like a garden. I like to be like her and be BGCP's master gardener, constantly planting seeds, watering, pruning, nurturing our community. Different plants complement each other. Different flowers bloom at different times, and we can never predict exactly how things will turn out. And just like my wife's gardens, every year, our movement, my club, become more beautiful. Now, due to my advancing cancer, the past 7 years have been rough for my family and me, with constant doctor's visits, appointments, hospitalizations, and some painful treatments. But they've also been the best years of my life. This movement has supported my family and me every step of the way. and I've received more from this community than I ever could have imagined. I've learned so much about what really matters in life. I've been blessed to be surrounded by caring and generous people. Look around this room right now and look and see who's joined you to be part of this movement. Is there a more empathetic, compassionate, caring, committed, and loving group anywhere? I'm so deeply appreciative of the opportunity I've had to be part of this movement for the past 20 years. It's been inspiring to dance with people like Roxanne Spillett, Jim Clark, James Harris, Mike Jones, who embody what it means to be people of character. And it's also been wonderful raising my own 3 children in parallel, role modeling for them the kind of values that we all share. I'm confident that my kids will continue to draw inspiration from this movement. I'm also confident that BGCP, my 4th child, will continue to thrive, and that, like my own kids, its best is yet to come. Time is our most precious asset. Really, the only asset that matters. And the most important thing we do every day is to decide how we spend it. For me, there couldn't be a better way to spend my time than being part of this movement, working with you for a brighter future for our kids. And I'll keep doing it as long as I can. After all, what better reason is there to wake up every morning than to create hope and opportunity for the kids who need us most? So, whatever happens, I'm at peace knowing I've spent my time so well aligned with my values. And know that whenever your time might come, you will find peace and fulfillment having chose to spend your time as part of this movement. Thank you.